Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. So we are from Group A and now we will be presenting about our main title of topic which is glass. So from our group there is Muhammad Irfan, Ahmad Din Syafwan, Faiz Daniel bin Muhammad Nasir and Wu Silong. So now that is the presentation outline for our presentation today. So firstly we will introduce the glass and its properties. Next, we will give the example and the process of glass product. After that, we will explain about the properties of the glass product that we choose. And lastly, we will give you the real life application of the glass product that we have choose and we will conclude the presentation today. So, my name is Ahmad Danish Shafwan bin Azwadlisha, matrix number 210060, and now I will introduce you about glass. So, what is glass? Glass is a non-crystalline, often known as an inorganic material which is usually transparent or translucent, as well as strong, tough, brittle, and unaffected by the natural elements. Glass has been used since ancient times as a decorative, functional, and technological, and it is still highly significant in application as an engineering materials nowadays, such as building construction, telecommunication, and housewares. If you look closely, the windows on the buildings and cars are made of glass. The fiber optic cables and the wires are made of glass, and the Coca-Cola bottles are also made from glass. So, why does this glass use a lot in our daily life? So, that is because some characteristic or properties of glass that make it suitable for a lot of stuff. So, firstly, because of its transparency and translucent. The transparency is one such properties of glass which could establish a visual link to the outside world. So that's why we will use glass in our windows, on cars and buildings, so we can look outside and not too compact inside. So next, uh, the second properties is because of its hardness and brittleness. So glass has a great resistant impact against applied load, yet it breaks instantly when subject to load. So glass has a great resistance and hardness to anything, so it will not break easily. Next, glass also has a great resistance against weather, chemical, and fire glazing. This characteristic make it suitable for glass for a lot of purposes in a building construction. And lastly, glass could be modified to suit different purposes that can be which make it a multifunctional material which could be used for a various purposes in lots of things in building construction, telecommunication, or housewares. So now I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Faiz Daniel bin Muhammad Nasir and my matrix number is 210158. So today I'm going to present a little bit about our example of product, our methodology and also the properties of our product, which is the optic fiber class. So let's move on to our presentation. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I'm going to continue for our presentation. So, for our example of product, we have already discussed with each other and we have already choose that we are going to choose the fiber optic cable as our product made of glass. So, For the next step is that we're going to explain a little bit about process or product. Right here, we already performed 10 performance for our product. Material number one is to create preform using vapor phase axial deposition, which is known as VAD method. For this one, it is also known as the initial stage of the making of fiber optic glasses. So for this, we're going to use chiefly silicon tetrachloride and germanium tetrachloride and transform it into glass. So to make the core areas for the various type of performs, these chemicals are mixed into a various amount of entity in Japan and as a pioneer of the VAD. So for the next step is sintering, which is known as the create purified glass perform. This one is to suit the perform becomes transparent, allowing a high temperature reaction in the electric furnace, and hence impurities are removed and purified glass preforms is manufactured in this process. For the third one is the elongation, which is known as lengthened glass perform. So for this process, lengthened elongation is the process of lengthening a glass performed by heating it with the H2O and burners and moving one chunk and the burners into the opposite direction. For the fourth one, we're going to use the manufacturing cladded soot method. For this one, the GVD method is used for manufacturing cladding soot efficiently. Material glasses, cases, and blown on the rotating core root made by the VAD process. For the fifth one, we're going to drawing into the optical fibers. For this one, we just need to use the perform in heat in the furnace and drawing it into the optical fibers. Uncured polymer, which is also known as a UV resin, is applied online to the glass fiber and cured by passing the via UV light. For the seventh one, we just need to use the proof test for fibers. For this one, it is clearly easy because the proof test is an inspection to ensure there is no minimum tensile strength by applying fixed stress on the optical fibers along with its length. For the seventh one, we're going to make the coloring process for the fibers. Process of coloring an optical fiber is coated with the UV curable resins containing colors, pigment, and utilized as a color fibers or as a ribbon. For the eighth one is the ribbon process. Color fiber ribbons are commercialized for cable usage and arranged in parallel and coated with UV cable resins to attach them. For the ninth one is the assembly process of ribbons. For this one is typically an easy process because assembling process, also known as optical fiber ribbons, are housed into the groove of the slot core. A water blocking tape or a plastic tape is wrapped around the slotted core. For the last one is ejecting process of the cable. Ejecting method is also known as the polyethylene is ejected on the cable core to preserve fiber optical ribbons depending on the installation environment. So this is the process of making the product of fiber optic glass. So for the last one, these are the properties of the product. Number one is extremely high through output. Number two is very high resistance to noise, excellent securities, ability to carry signals for much longer distance, and the last one is industry standard for high speed network. So now I'm going to pass my presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Sufyan and my matrix number is 209833. So in this video, I would like to share about our assignment, and we will we will be asked to do
Okay, so hello, my name is Wu Silong, and my metric number is 209602. Okay, I will make a short summary. Okay, and nowadays, glass is used more and more widely, and glass can be seen everywhere in our daily life. Like, for example, it is applied to glass optical fibers. As mentioned above, like VAD technology is used to manufacture some preforms, and the pure glass is produced by chemical reaction. And then the refractive index of the optical fiber is increased to necessary level. Okay, so finally, the optical fiber is finally put into use after the series of assembly. Okay, there are also glass buildings that can be seen everywhere in our daily life. So it can be seen that the production process of glass is very mature today. And at the same time, the physical properties of glass are also excellent, such as good light transmission, chemical resistance, and fire resistance, and so on. So which also make glass a good material and also has many uses in engineering, beautification, or home use. Okay, so glass is a versatile material that can be made into different chemical forms of the same substance of different uses. Okay, so thank you very much, and I think that's all for me. Okay, thank you very much.